on any citizen. It is so elementary. Only a properly constituted court of law can pronounce guilt on any citizen. No television house, no radio station, no newspaper can accuse a citizen of a criminal offense in Nigeria, try him, and condemn him. You must drag him to a court of law. That is the provision of Section 36(1) of the 1999 Constitution. You cannot sit in your house and call somebody a crook or a criminal. He has to be tried and adjudged guilty by an independent body. What we have said in the case of Tinubu, if you are so sure that you have this avalanche of evidence against him, you may have to wait till the year 2003. That is what the law is saying. Section 308, no amount of blackmail will take the place of law. So Falana said that this was 24 years ago, not today. Oh. So for those who are listening to me, this is not today. Oh. This was Falana defending Tinubu 24 years ago. Okay. So Falana said that the IG could not investigate the case because even if investigations were carried out, Tinubu cannot be arrested. Asking, what is the purpose of the investigation? He spoke on the intervention of the House of Assembly, which investigated the allegation according to him. The chief judge of a state can only set up a 7-man panel of inquiry in the case of an impeachment proceeding against the governor. So according to him, the misconduct was found against the governor. And all the blah, 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 the blah, the blah, the blah, the blah. So this was 24 years ago when Tinubu was governor. So you have it on black and white right now. So whatever you are kind of thinking, what is different today is this. Okay, the difference today is that we have social media and we all have all this evidence. Okay, but what they are telling all of you now is that we can all sit down in our houses. We can all have all these evidences. But according to Nigeria law, except a court says those evidence were evidence and rule on them, we are all just talking nonsense and just shouting. It won't change anything. And I bet it, ladies and gentlemen, if you invite Falana to any media house today, it will repeat exactly the same thing. And it will tell you, it's not him, it is the law. Sure, you know. So that is when he was asked about morality. Let me go check that part. There's a part where he was asked about being moral, and he said, this is not a case of morality. Okay? So what happened is that, the law is the law. So anyone who feels like, you know what I mean, it's not right, they should fix it. But it was already wrong from the onset. This was like a military decree, you know? So I won't go look for that part. When I see it, I'll go show you. Anyway, let me move on a bit so that I don't drag that on for too long, okay? So this is where Agbakoba comes in. And around that time, something happened. Agbakoba and the rest just felt like, it is true. Hey, the status of assembly, what they did was wrong. How could they just let him, impeachment is the only option if Mr. Olisa Agbakoba, this was 24 years ago, Mr. Olisa Agbakoba, a senior advocate of Nigeria and a pro-democracy activist, was one of those who testified before the Lagos State House of Assembly allegation made against Governor. So below is the memo he presented. So this is a lawyer who went there 24 years ago, and he presented that Tinubu must be impeached if the House of Assembly find him guilty. Right? But somehow, the State House of Assembly said he didn't receive any petition or anything. But he said he presented a memo, not petition. Right? So this was also him. You know? all of that. This was 24 years ago. Islam the press, like the press is not being, like, you know, they need to let people, blah, blah, blah. And then fast forward to 24 years after that, the same Agbakoba was asked about the state of things, INEC, Judiciary, 6 months ago.
What the courts have been doing lately. I mean, there was a time you could say, oh, on the facts and the law, this is the likely outcome. Today you cannot, because there have been all kinds of silly decisions. The most silly was that concerning the President of the Senate, who, in order to become Nigerian president, rushed off to buy a ticket to be a presidential candidate of the APC, and that meant he did not take part in the senatorials. Lo and behold, he lost. He now ran back after the horse had bolted, clearly to anybody who has any brain, including the justices of the Supreme Court I might add, and he said no, that the man actually should be the senatorial candidate. That is the most ridiculous decision I've ever heard that the Supreme Court had delivered. So that's why it's difficult. Of course, I don't want to talk about the case of Imo State where everything was turned upside down. So I don't have the sort of confidence that I used to have in the judiciary, and I've not been surprised if this thing goes one way or the other. I cannot forecast the outcome. I have the legal tools and the factual issues. So if I put it into my computer, I know what answer it will give me. But I'm not part of the panel, so I don't know whether the justices will see it the way I'm seeing it. But I can tell you, from my own perspective as a lawyer of 45 years at the bar, that the answers are glaringly obvious. But as Oliver Wendell Holmes said in the Raleigh School of Jurisprudence, it is the prophecy of what the court does in fact, and nothing more pretentious, that is the law. So if you ask me what will be the outcome of the petition, first of all, I cannot say because it's sub judice. But second of all, I cannot even say because the Supreme Court itself is unpredictable. It ought to be predictable, which is why people are now beginning to question. There's a new school of thinking coming up to say, should the Supreme Court really be final? See what they're causing now? Should they be final, or should their decisions now be subject to parliamentary review?
This was 6 months ago when Sir Olisa Agbakoaba decided to be honest for the last time. So the Supreme Court is currently being expected to take in all of this evidence, right? And disqualify Tinubu. And immediately after that, order for his arrest, his trial, and his final, conviction for all of his crimes. With the evidence that are available now, which the tribunal failed to look into. Now that the Supreme Court is being told of this latest evidential discovery, Sir Agbakoba is no longer comfortable with it. But just before today, here is Sir Agbakoba again.
What would you guys say to those who are of the opinion that both the bar and the bench are not doing enough to stamp out corruption in the judiciary?
I accept that. That is absolutely correct. We have complete legal and judicial failure. And I just hope that this is a wake-up call for all of us. Again, I go back to when I was NBA president. We've been shouting, speed of justice, speed of justice. Well, I had a project called the Speed of Justice. You can't go to court, lawyers block cases, judges are helpless. Using the old Judicial Act of 1873 in the UK, they say that the judges do not descend. That has been thrown away. Judges descend to the arena. A judge will shut a counsel up if he's wasting his time. So, my take home from this is the public has lost confidence in us, and it's a big shame. They've lost confidence in the judiciary and in lawyers, and that's why the opinion is so divided. And I think we in the bar and the judges must wake up and regain the confidence of people. Because if there was confidence, even this would not happen. They'll say, oh, NJC can sort it out. But if the NJC itself takes forever, as Mountway was implying, then people will say, well, look, you know what? I tell you this. A typical Nigerian. You remember the tire, burning tire thing in South Africa? What are you talking about? This man has stolen our money. He want to take him to which court? But in those days when I used to do a lot of criminal cases, somebody who became IG told me, wasting your time. So I know that this guy has killed my boys. So I'll shoot him dead. I had an application before the late Justice Kensington to exhume a dead body to prove that police people shot him. And that's when the CLO, when I was president, wrote the book Executive Lawlessness and the Police Rascality. So it's all been there. And that was what led to the new Administrative Justice Act. So we, as lawyers, we must up our game. We must give confidence to the public that we don't just go to court, take money from clients, tie up the cases in court, and nothing happens. Because if you look at the load of cases in court, the truth is that the results have been very poor. I must consider issue that we need to up our game.
So some said it's Agbako Agba. So, but I kind of feel like it's Agbako Aba. Or it can be Agbako Agba. Whatever goes well for you. You know? So, that was Agbako Agba talking about people, the public losing interest based on mostly the recent pronouncement by the Supreme Court of Nigeria, which has put to question their credibility too. So what changed? Now that there are more evidence, Nigerians are being embarrassed all over the world. They are being called out here and there. Is it true that your president was a drug dealer? Is it true that a former drug dealer is now your president? Is it true that your president is a certificate forger, Agba forger, and the rest of that? So Agbako Agba now went on his Twitter. I think it was yesterday. Abakonde ran to, I said, what's happened to this old man? He said, this madness of Chicago State University must stop now. The cacophony of discordant voices on Tinubu Atiku over the certificate matter is completely out of hand. This utter nonsense from armchair lawyers is eating up Nigeria dangerously. Please, can we keep our opinions and views to ourselves, awaiting a decision of the Supreme Court? I am so ashamed to see lawyers on television arguing, one way or the other, on the merit or demerit of Chicago State University matter. This is most unhelpful. I call out all media that tolerate this nonsense of educating the Chicago State University matter on TV and newspaper. I urge the president of the Nigerian Bar Association to call out lawyers that breach rules of ethics by turning the media into a court of law. Can we please stop eating up our country? Let us allow the Supreme Court of Nigeria to make a judicial pronouncement which is binding on us all. This public nonsense must stop. Agbako Aba, Abi Agbako Agba. Did you see that? Why are you all talking about his certificate? Let us wait for the Supreme Court to tell us if it is fake or original. Let us wait for the court to tell us if it's it's original. Chicago State University cannot tell us how Tinubu got their certificate. They may not even know how he got their certificate. Why not just let us wait for Supreme Court? Now the Supreme Court justices go come look and say, okay. Chicago State University, they didn't produce this certificate. Yes, my lord. This is the position that we brought from America court. It's the position. Chicago State University said they didn't do this certificate. They say, how come you didn't bring the man who said that here? Say, but my lord, the position and evidence, no, that's technicality. Next time, you have to bring that Caleb Westbag. You have to bring him to Nigeria. And he has to come with original certificates so that we can now compare the two. Which one is the original? Which one is fake? Or more, if you like, go and bring the president of Chicago State University, Atiku. Carry Caleb Westberg. May he come carry the printing machine. They print the certificate in 1979. Come pack evidence of 1979 certificate. Go that court. Because they are the ones who can tell us which. So if the Supreme Court will just be like, this look like, they hold the fake one, the one submitted to INEC, Abi. The one that pointed out Tinubu lied and he faked the certificate, Abi. Chicago State University didn't give him the certificate, right? The judge will hold it like this and say, is he my eyes? My lord, he will face another judge, another justice of Supreme Court. My lord, is he my eyes? This one look original to me, Ke? That would be Ariwola, Chief Justice of Nigeria. That one would be like, I said, no, my lord, that one is the fake. Caleb Westberg will be like, sorry, my lord. He said, no, don't teach me, don't teach us our job. You have spoken, we have heard you. Say, my lord, that's the fake one, sir. I wanted to tell you that that's the fake one you are holding. We did not issue that one. That's not us. But is this one that is submitted to INEC? Yes, that's the one is submitted. That's the fake one. It's submitted to INEC, my lord. Who are you again? I am the registrar for Chicago State University, Caleb Westberg. Oh, okay. You are the one. Right. So this is the fake one, Abi. How do you know this is fake? Because this is the original one that we normally print in 1979, my lord. That's why we know that. And Tinubu did not come and collect any certificate from us. Okay. But this one look like original to me, okay? So no, it's fake, sir. It's so fake. Check the original and check it. Take a look at the two. See, my friend, shut up. My lord, please take a look for me now. This one look like a fake. That one will take it and say, no, there's no, because there's no fake here, my lord. So give it to the other justice there. Give it to him. Now there, Westberg go sit down. Atif could go sit down. The rest of you go sit down. You're going to watch the drama. When they come back, they will say, well, we have discovered that it is original. We can see the name of the university. We can see the motto of the university. We can see the signature there. And the logo is original. My lord, objection overruled. So, have you watched Yoruba movies before? When they will just capture somebody, they will say, okay, police capture big person, big thief. And they will now say, my lord, you see this person is the most dangerous person, my lord. We must make sure that he's punished. My lord, this person has killed hundreds of people, my lord. And now, we are brought him before you to sentence him to death, my lord. And then my lord will just be like, this is my judgment. And the whole court will just do. They will come tell you, say, una no get evidence. All of these things that all of you are shouting about and all of that, you cannot teach us our job. Tinubu submitted original certificate. If you don't believe me, go and read the tribunal judgment of Peter Umba versus Aduaga. Also, Labour Party versus PDP in Enugu. That one is not foul. It just happened just last month. Last month, it's gonna be this month. Last month. NYSC, National Youth Service Corps. They brought their own Director General. The person in charge of NYSC, Director General, they took him to the judges in court that the governor, the PDP governor there, forged his certificate, the passing out NYSC certificate. NYSC went there, they said, we did not give him this, we don't get any record of him. He don't go anywhere. We don't know him. You know what the tribunal said? Since he has already submitted it to INEC, and INEC did not say it's fake, tribunal, they cannot come and rule and say it's fake. NYSC said they didn't give him certificates, sir. Sir, my lord, shut up your mouth. Don't teach us our job. You cannot expect us to discover fake documents here. it is the job of INEC to discover fake documents. So if they didn't do it, it's not our own to now help you discover it. No, you didn't help us discover it. Oh, we discovered it. We are just telling you that he did that. He already did it, my lord. This is the evidence. He did it. No. You are asking us to help you use evidence to cancel his election because he forged certificate. Abi? Yes, my lord. He forged it. Evidence. He forged it. But INEC said the certificate was okay. So would you want us to now say INEC is wrong? That is not okay. But they are wrong, my lord. No, you are wrong for expecting us to be the one to help you do something that should have been done. I'm giving you the interpretation of their courts. Don't let it sound somehow to you. Because right now, you see that Olisa Agbako Agba Abi Agbako Aba. I have told you this many times that they are going to release, they're going to activate people like that. Older people. You know, people that you are going to hear them say something and you're going to be like, what the hell? You'll be so shocked and surprised that you are like, how could that, Maloma was surprised, did you? You just need to make sure you read your history very well. Majority of those parading themselves as a mouthpiece for you in Nigeria, they are positioning themselves for their own turn in that same establishment. You remember this, our brother? Aspire to perspire, maguire to acquire, require to ostire abinko. So that you can then become, they say fake it until you make it. Mr. Fela Durotoye, the former presidential candidate. You see that one in the middle? That also used to be one of the Ogbonge critique of APC, Egbekegbe. Now, you see this segment, I just want to sympathize with a lot of you, Lagos Sabo Bakus. Majority of you will be say, I won't die on social media. It can't be like, say, your destiny, your life. You did so many dirty things. But when it came to the time for you to probably be given a recognition to show that all of the things that you are fighting for on social media, go and do them. You are not useful to them. No vex, so, and if you want vex, make you vex, no be today. You understand? All of you now, we be Lagos Sabo Bakus. I'm talking about some of you, they have turned to Alimajiri, the social media Alimajiri, the Bambi Allah squad. Okay? That Nigeria has really happened to you. A lot of you, you are soft, you are struggling. Even those of you who pretend to like have jobs, all of you now, they go through hell as we speak. So how do you feel when it was time to give good money to sellers? They usually just ignore. Majority of you have turned to influencers on social media. Even the leader of the Ronukus, the Lagos Sabo Bakus. You remember that guy that was Dayo Israel? Pastor Dayo Israel. The leader of the Jagavan army. You can also call him the leader of the Yoruba Ronukus of APC. And this is also kind of a good one for so many of you that are so comfortable in using one brush to paint the Yorubas because of all these Ronukus. We know those who were shouting, Yoruba Ronu, Yoruba Ronu, Yoruba Ronu, all because they believe that everyone from the eastern part of Nigeria, from the old eastern region, from the other regions created after that, to this Yoruba Ronukus, every one of them is Igbo. If you come from anywhere after Ore in Ondo, the Yoruba Ronukus, they consider you as Igbo. I say, but I'm not Igbo, I'm from Edo. Shebi, they talk say, what do you call it? Biafra. You say, you're not part of Biafra. But you see, these Ronukus, they These ethnic tribal jingoists from Yoruba land, we call them the Ronukus. Okay, because some are Ronukulas. But in the other word, they will say, Ironu Tinubu na Ironu Tinubu go kill you. Ironu Tinubu no fit kill me. Oh. You know that too. Now, Tinubu's policy, now in they take life out of you small. Some of you don't they use mouth to breathe now. Say, Baba, they use your nose against that. It's not enough. It's not enough anymore. To survive in Nigeria now, you have to breathe with your mouth. Like, I said, but they run. I said, I know they run, but I have to breathe because every here you can get right now, take on before Tinubu start charging you for say you won't breathe. Say I can't breathe. See Tinubu they charge everybody for breathing and all of that. So to the Yoruba Ronukus, anybody we know sound like unboot slaves or ass licker or a crumb eater shouting Yoruba Ronu like them when they were more or less like being forced into the worst of the worst, sort of human treatment, unfortunately, right? They have name for us too. They call us a bastard. People where they support person, we don't know him mama, we don't know him papa. Or person we deny him mama, deny him papa. On the battle, date of birth, the childhood history, everything that every one of us probably has. People where they support person, we don't get papa. Shameless enough that he can't use his own father's name. And all of that. People where they support that one, they call all of us. We know our papa, know our mama, know where we come from. We know our own childhood, childhood friends, those we went to school with, and all of those of us we get history. The Ronukus, that they call us Somali. But to those of you who are easily so carried away, all these Igbo people, that is why nobody want to stay with them. These Igbo people, they like to dominate. When they talk, you said they talk. You come from Edo. You come from Delta. You are there from the hinterland of old Biafra. Eastern region. You know, say the Ronukus were trained to believe that all of Funana Igbo, all of you be Igbo. You know. The Ronukus that believe that any clean looking Yoruba is not Yoruba. Is that not even a shame? All of that happened before our very eyes. So now the leader of the Ronukus, who put up different schemes. Daddy does not sleep until 4 a.m. I don't know the sleep, but no they sleep for until 1 a.m. The Ronuku leader, Dayo Israel, did everything and he led some other charlatans to go and see Tinubu. At a point, I think they were shouting, Corona to his enemy. Say, what do you call it? It's this part. Something like, for his enemy because of which they won't give them all. Last, they no give them job. Now, one lady, the Tinubu appointed as a minister of youth. Majority of these Ronukus from north, from the south, from everywhere. At a point, Dayo Israel wrote, you can't believe this, so Dayo Israel put a team together called Jagabanami. In that Jagabanami, 36 states of Nigeria, the lie he told to all of these ombud beggars on social media, all these Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, majority of them, their names are part of the names that Israel was parading as Jagabanami. Because they told them, once Jagabandits become presidents, they will begin to give all of them jobs. They were monkeying about, fooling about at the time. And I'm not making this up, but they had over 20,000 youths. And they called them Jagabanami all over Nigeria. They now give them positions. They were even fighting for relevance at a point. They can't leave Jagabanami, can't go bring aspire to Maguire, acquire to require, Feladuro Toye, motivational speaker, former presidential candidate. The people where I remember that Showore. You remember when Showore said, I don't join these people, they get agenda. Tokwe Fashua, Feladuro Toye. Omashio. Do you know how many of you young people in 2018, 2019? During that time, that felt like it's the time for the youth. We need to take a well, myself fall for Ramsha anyway. All of us fall for Ram. Because me, I was just interested in any young people that is ready to take up on the establishment. You are my friend. As long as you are not defending or promoting the establishment itself. But we're all food. Fella, if you are watching my broadcast right now, Emma Krombuni, wherever you are, okay? Oma Krombuni, alaye, because I use this my platform to also promote that fraud. Baba, everybody, they look for their own meal ticket. You remember when I told you something about that? As long as this frauderia is concerned, if you see anybody, including me, Mayegun, and you know this is Mayegun's diary, okay? Hold me to it. If you see anybody that is doing so well in his life and suddenly started telling you that he wants to come and fight for his people, that is why he wants to be a governor, he wants to be a senator or rep, agaga, especially those that will come back from abroad. You know, it's a zobo that is easily sold in Nigeria. Okay? If you give the money to the right people, all right? You can get what you want. I told you, I said, if you see anybody that is doing well in his private life, and they suddenly turn around and said, I am coming back to Nigeria to come and contest elections so as to get involved. I don't want to continue to complain. I don't want to, we are all just talking. We need to get involved. We need to be involved in all of this. We need to make sure that we get, it's all lies. If you see my poster anywhere, Mayegun for rep, I go tell you, say, I mean of you see this Nigeria as it is structured. I have my life in the UK. I am a very successful story. If you see anybody coming from abroad, and they have been told what they stand to gain. Sure, you understand me now? And if you see anybody coming from abroad that says, I'm coming to come and work for my people, he's not coming to come and work for his people. I am sorry that I may not be able to give you the English name of Ikun and Dedere. They are both Bushurati. I think they call them mackerel. Is it mackerel or cockerel? It matter. You shall remember Ikun and Dedere. You see those one that is coming from abroad with his money. He's looking for where that money will bring that return. You see those ones that are waiting in Nigeria. It is their own career job. They are criminals too. You are welcome. You are very welcome. You are welcome. Somebody said it on this program that they spent over 1 billion naira. You see, by the time you land in Nigeria, if you told yourself from America that I understand the politics of my area, see me, I understand the politics of Ogun State a lot. I'm not going to say more than anybody, but I understand it so much that I would not take my 1 billion naira and go to Ogun State with the intention of helping my people. Because the moment I started spending that money, I go no say, this is never going to be about helping my people. When they collect my money, helping which people? Which people? 1 billion. On top kidney. Now then you go no. Even if you didn't leave America with that premonition, as you go no say don't enter the 419 hand. As they use jazz on you, yourself go to use jazz on them. When I go come they use jazz, talk to yourself. They go they call you senator. They never elect you. You never even win the primary. They go they call you also honorable. Hello, honorable. So they go, honorable, for me 10 million. They say, chairman, lè 10 million. And another chairman will like, you don't cash me. That's fine. Because a John Fogun bara so una go dey use jazz talk to una self. You go suddenly turn you will be say your life where you they come from is about I have a meeting at 9 o'clock. I need to see Danny at the coffee shop at 7:30, and I need to hit the road by 7 o'clock. So that by 11 o'clock, I'm going to be back in the office because I have another meeting at 2 p.m. and it's a business meeting. Now your life is that too. But when you get to Nigeria with your money, you will now turn to Elegbeji Ado. They're going to tell you, say, you need to be careful. You could come be like saying, a war, you won't go fight. You won't go help your people. I want to come and help my people. And we need to run for office in that corrupt system. By the time they were done with you, finally, I have testimonies. So some of them are watching me right now. They are sitting down there and like, my ego. Because it is true. Now, at that moment, you go, no, say nobody if you help them. It is what the system is, right? So that's why I'm saying that if you see anybody that now come back and say, I am coming to come and fight for my people, Baba, 2 years ago, don't fight for anybody. Nobody is fighting for anybody. And that is why I like what I do. Get people who have stones to grind with the corrupt system in Nigeria. Get them together, okay? With one focused, it's like a laser focused attention to what they want. So that everything they do is on how to gather steam, gather strength, and go for what they want. The system is so corrupt that as Nigeria is currently sinking, Tinubu is hiring vuvuzelas, people that can talk, motivational speakers, those who can convince you on TV, those that will tell you to don't worry. There is a 40,000 megawatt electricity coming. They are working on it. Okay? They are working on the new refineries. In fact, if you see the economy, don't listen to enemies. They just want to distract the Mr. President. He's working day and night. In fact, yesterday, we came back from Qatar. Okay? Before we came back from Qatar, Mr. President was on here when he was on the phone with Joe Biden in America. Meanwhile, we were just going to have a stop by in Germany. Guess where we're coming from? Japan. It's all because of Nigeria. People that can tell you all these lies with straight face. And they will call the name of God like it's nothing. Are the people Tinubu is hiring right now? Not economists, though. That are going to come back and work it out and say, you don't hire over 400 people on media. Kilo de shogun la yeni. Even people where they construct powerhouses, where they call the situation room, a big control room, media room. They know they hire 400 people. Kilo day. Because they have a lot of cleaning, bleach. They will have to use bleach, use every cleaning product to clean the name of Tinubu every minute. Like your social media. They need a lot of people everywhere. Some of them would, you know how they work, you don't know how they work. You will see all of them on social media and everywhere. They will be dropping hot takes, okay? And they will, you see, they will be analyzing. Oh my show. You will be reading analysis like this. You'll be like, only God, only if they can do all of these things. I really wish they can do all this. And it sounds so good, I actually pray that they can do all of this. You know people that can talk like that to you. Now the people Tinubu they hire with that. A pound is now 1,250 naira. So if I give you 1,000 pounds sterling, that is going to be 1.2 million naira. That used to be 220,000 naira 8 years ago. So what is that? How many 200 naira? I mean, how many 220 naira would you see in 1,250 naira? At least you will see 5 conveniently. Abi? We'll go just round them up and call them 6. Or even 5.5. That means Nigeria Naira lost 550% of its value in 8 years. And all of you can tell in your everyday life called high cost of living today. You all can tell. They told you they were going to give you minimum wage. The likes of Fela Durotoye are going to tell you that there is no best president in the world that has given the Nigerian workers the best deal in their lives. What is that deal? Minimum wage in Nigeria is 23 pounds. Tinubu has added another, another 30 pounds to it. And it is going to take it to 53 pounds. In Nigeria minimum wage is 30,000 naira. After tax, you will take home 22,000 naira in salary. In everywhere you go, they say minimum wage in Nigeria is 30,000 naira. How can you be paying? Nobody is even collecting 30,000 naira as minimum wage in Nigeria. They will remove your tax, remove this, remove that. You go home with 22,000 naira if you are collecting minimum wage. Is that worse? So Tinubu is adding 35,000 naira to that 30,000 naira, making it 65,000 naira, 53 to 55 pounds. But that is not minimum wage. They're just going to get that for 6 months. After 6 months, they would have to go back to their 30,000 naira minimum wage. Everybody find their level because Nigeria is broke. Subsidy that actually triggered most of this wreck and cost of living. They removed subsidy. Subsidy is gone. You remember that? That same day I came here and I said he is lying. Subsidy is not gone. A lot of you probably watched my video 4 months ago when I said, why was he lying? What I didn't tell you then was that I said he was only working on how to replace those who are collecting the subsidy money from those Bokuwari put there to his own people. Once that transfer is done or almost done, subsidy will come back fully. Abi? That's what I told you. Okay. Well, what I didn't tell you or what I didn't know then was that their plan was actually to increase the pump price, the petroleum price in Nigeria. And you know, everybody, when you know subsidy is gone, it's gone, okay, it's gone, oh, it's gone, it's gone. You know, every price is going to go up anyway. So once they increase it, then they bring the subsidy back. And then they will now tell you, we need to pay the subsidy. If not, can you pay 1,500 naira per liter? Because it has always been the blackmailing tool used by successive governments in Nigeria. It just got sort of the corruption just got industrialized by these rogues. Maybe you are already paying 610 naira now. Some people are paying 700 per liter in Nigeria now. Okay? And they are telling you that the refineries are going to work like Bokwari told you for 8 years, Abi. So if you want to believe them, that's fine. But right now, what they will come back and tell you is that if they don't pay subsidy, then you must be ready to pay 1,500 naira per liter. So when you hear that, you will think they are doing you a favor again. They'll say, we are building the refineries, but let us just pay the subsidy temporarily. In order for you not to get triggered, they won't alarm you in a way that they will just keep the tempo based on what Bokwari left it. Shebi, when they remove subsidy, they themselves came out and said the fuel consumptions by Nigerians and all of that daily reduced by 60%. They said that themselves, Abi. That is the template they are practically showing you gradually. The template is going to be, or the remaining 40% in call, is going to cost you 2 trillion naira. It's not going to be 4 trillion this time. Not right away. It's not going to be 5 trillion like Bokuwari. They will just throw it in 2 trillion. Because you know who was collecting subsidy? NNPC. And who is in NNPC? Bokuwari's people, the Kiyari and the rest of them, who sold Nigeria NNPC, National Oil Company. They sold it to themselves after they got political appointments to manage it. They met an institution. They got politically appointed to hold the institution. And in the space of 8 years, they sold the institution to themselves. They were all shareholders there. Meanwhile, the staff of the institution and the budget of the institution is still being picked, and it's still being picked up by Nigeria government and Nigeria people. But when it comes to what happened inside, it is a private company. I have never seen any this open fraud in my life. So the same NNPC was paying trillions of naira to some faceless oil marketers. But do you know something? The only person authorized to import fuel into Nigeria is the same NNPC of Nigeria. So the guys in NNPC are defrauding Nigeria and they are paying themselves for doing a good job. So what Tinubu need is that, how do you do it? This is how we do it, this is how we do it. Okay, fine. You, appointed. You, out. So I want to see how that happens. So you report back to me. Then they bring their own memo. Sir, we cannot go for the broke right away. Let's start with small money, 2 trillion, sir. Or 3 trillion, sir. Say, okay, yeah, put that together and put it in the depth of us. They normally do it. So yeah, go and do that. Then the likes of Feladro Toye and the rest of them, Akuri Negalailai, and the rest of them will have to come and explain it to you. How Tinubu is working so well to save you. Do you know what it takes for you to be buying fuel for 610 naira? If you know what Tinubu is doing, you'll be so grateful to him. If it's not because of him, by now, you would have started buying petrol at 1,500 naira. And you'll be asking yourself, but you guys promised us one refinery every year 8 years ago. So you are not even showing responsibility that if Nigerians are going to buy fuel at 1,500 naira, the same fuel they produce in their own country. But 8 years ago, you promised them refineries, one refinery every year. Before you came in, Nigerian refineries were working at over 45% capacity. Nigeria was not importing 100% of its local consumption. No, 8 years ago, under these guys, the entire refineries in Nigeria died. They spent $11 billion. Put that together in today's exchange, that's over 10 trillion naira. On Nigerian refineries, they didn't produce one single drop of oil for 8 years. Nigeria now relied more on importation of this fuel. The party that didn't do all of that, they are going to come back and blackmail you and say you should be grateful to Tinubu. If it's not because of him, you would have been paying 1,500 by now. Don't listen to people who are trying to make you hate your governor, your president. You should be praying for him. If you know the risk is taken for you. And just like that, the sheepies will follow. And all of the social media vuvuzelas, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all-risers, the Buhari Deans, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Dinotus, and the Buhari Dijatus, Buhari Shukus, the Ungos, the Haris, the Uneka Haris, all of these bat idiots, as you call them, they will spread that same message and say, you should be grateful that Tinubu is trying to save you while they dip you further in perpetual generational poverty. Think about that. It is a game. To them, it's a game. But we are talking about your life. Your life is a game to them. They are playing games with your lives. So they will gaslight you. They will blackmail you. They will call you names, ungrateful. And unfortunately, you probably still don't have that courage to stand up and mobilize. Not yet. They will push you there. But it's just going to be so brutal. Oh, they're going to be psychological. They will psychologically assault the rest of you. You're going to see things going up in smoke, and they're going to tell you that you are just the enemy and hater. You hate them, and that is why you don't see anything good. There are so many more I would like to share, but it seems that I have exhausted all my time. I have missed a lot of you because I've not been around. Now, if you are there tonight, you should just give me that thumb up, right? And so I am going to take calls. But before I do that, let's, the news out there now is that Oluye Sunday Igboho has been officially released by the government of Benin Republic that he could continue his journey. And then 24 hours after that, he is now with his family in Germany. So he kind of shared one grateful message of people that have been so supportive, those who stood by him from Nigeria, the Yorubas worldwide, Yorubas in diaspora. I think that is where we fell into. So, it couldn't really do more than that anyway. So we fell into Yorubas in diaspora that supported and all that. So he's safe now. He's in Germany. And then, and that's something. And today also happened to be his birthday too. So to everybody, you can possibly send out your own birthday message and all that. But apart from that, I'm going to put us on a short hold when I'm going to make myself a fresh cup of tea. And when I get back, we can have a chat for like half an hour before I call it a night. So thank you. Remember, you need to drop your own offering like that broadcast. So we are pretty much going to press on the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which means that, as long as these men are safe, there is hope. But for them to be dehumanized or even killed under the criminals, we just want to do that to everyone that they considered as a potential threat. So we safeguard those who haven't been into their trap, and we ensure that we stand in solidarity for those they are holding illegally. So on all that, thank you, and I will be back.